take a close look at a piece of cotton yarn. It seems almost too simple to be useful. It's soft, flexible, and made from tiny plant fibers. Yet somehow this humble strand can hold together a sweater, survive thousands of stitches, and even support surprising amounts of weight without falling apart. But here's the strange part. Cotton fibers are actually very short. Most are only a few centimeters long. If that's true, why doesn't a strand of cotton yarn simply unravel into a pile of loose fluff the moment you pull on it? The answer involves thousands of fibers, a clever manufacturing technique, and some fascinating physics. Today, we're going to unravel the mystery of why cotton yarn stays together, right here, on History of Simple Things. Humans have been spinning cotton into yarn for thousands of years. Archaeological evidence suggests cotton textiles were being produced as early as 5,000 to 7,000 years ago in parts of present-day India and Pakistan. Ancient civilizations quickly discovered that cotton fibers could be twisted into strong threads and woven into comfortable fabrics. For centuries, spinning yarn was done entirely by hand, using simple tools like spindles and spinning wheels. Everything changed during the Industrial Revolution when machines such as the spinning jenny and spinning mule dramatically increased production. Although modern factories now produce yarn at incredible speeds, the basic principle remains almost identical to what ancient spinners discovered long ago. Twist fibers together, and they become surprisingly strong. Many people imagine yarn as one long continuous fiber, but that's not how cotton works. A cotton yarn strand contains thousands of individual cotton fibers. Each fiber originally grew from the seed of a cotton plant and is relatively short compared to synthetic fibers like nylon or polyester. If you laid these fibers end to end, they would constantly separate. Simply stacking them together wouldn't create a usable thread. Pull on the bundle, and the fibers would slide apart almost immediately. This creates a challenge. To turn loose cotton fibers into yarn, manufacturers need a way to lock countless tiny fibers together so they act as one continuous strand. The solution is twisting. The most important reason cotton yarn stays together is because of the twist inserted during spinning. Imagine grabbing a handful of loose fibers and twisting them between your fingers. As the twist increases, the fibers begin wrapping around one another. Instead of pointing in the same direction, they become entangled in a spiral pattern. This spiral arrangement forces the fibers to squeeze against each other. The more they press together, the more friction develops between neighboring fibers. Friction is the key player here. When you pull on a finished yarn, individual fibers try to slide apart. However, the friction created by the twist resists that movement. Instead of slipping freely, the fibers grip one another and share the load. The result is a strand that behaves like a single piece, even though it's actually composed of thousands of separate fibers. Twisting alone isn't the whole story. Cotton fibers themselves possess characteristics that help them stay connected. Under a microscope, cotton fibers don't look like smooth cylinders. They appear flattened and slightly twisted, almost like tiny ribbons. These natural twists and irregular surfaces create more contact points between fibers. Think of it as the difference between stacking smooth glass rods and stacking rough strips of Velcro. Rougher surfaces naturally grip better. Because cotton fibers aren't perfectly smooth, they catch on each other more easily. This increases friction and improves the yarn's strength. In other words, cotton comes with built-in features that make spinning much more effective. You might assume that adding as much twist as possible would create the strongest yarn. Surprisingly, that's not true. A certain amount of twist increases strength because it improves fiber cohesion. However, beyond a certain point, excessive twisting can actually weaken the yarn. When too much twist is added, fibers become highly angled relative to the yarn's length. Instead of helping carry the pulling force, they begin working against it. The yarn can also become stiff, wiry, and more prone to kinking. This is why manufacturers carefully control twist levels depending on the intended use. Soft knitting yarns typically receive less twist, while sewing threads often receive more because they must withstand higher stresses. Finding the right balance is crucial. Even the strongest cotton yarn has limits. When enough force is applied, fibers begin slipping past one another. Eventually, some fibers break while others pull free from the twisted structure. If you've ever examined a broken piece of yarn, you may have noticed a fuzzy appearance at the ends. That's because individual fibers are being pulled out of the strand rather than snapping cleanly all at once. This gradual failure process is actually beneficial. Instead of breaking instantly, the yarn absorbs energy as fibers stretch, slip, and separate. That helps make cotton textiles more durable during everyday use. So why doesn't cotton yarn fall apart? The answer lies in an elegant combination of engineering and nature. Thousands of short cotton fibers are twisted together, creating friction that prevents them from sliding apart. Cotton's naturally irregular fiber shape adds even more grip, allowing countless tiny fibers to function as one continuous thread. It's a deceptively simple idea that humans discovered thousands of years ago and still rely on today. Every t-shirt, towel, bedsheet, and cotton sweater owes its existence to this remarkable trick of twisting tiny plant fibers into something far stronger than the sum of its parts. The next time you see a strand of cotton yarn, remember, it's not one fiber doing all the work. It's thousands of microscopic fibers cooperating, holding on tightly and refusing to let go. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.